Mic test the mic. Good Lord, that's loud. Sorry. How's that now? That's still really loud. Woo! Testing the mic. Good Lord, that's so loud. Alright, let me swap headsets. Well, I gotta... We'll transition in first. And then I'll swap headsets. Whoop. Alright. Computer's a little unhappy about the new setup. Sounds alright. How's that leveled? Man, it's still peaking in the yellow at minus 13 decibels. I'm gonna bring it down even further. Alright. That seems alright. Got music in my ears. Power off. Well, howdy y'all, and welcome back to another episode of Country Fried Minis here in the Bullshit Corner 2.0. Welcome everybody. So fantastic to see so many folks turning out already in the chat. Welcome Slink. Welcome Comstar Knight. Welcome Jason, Technor, TN, another Nate, and Iron Elemental. If I missed anyone, I apologize. Hope you're all doing well tonight. We're going to dive back in this evening and get a little more work done on these here lads that we started with yesterday. But we're also going to prime up Bumblebee. And it's right here. I got it under the cure lamp currently. And I have the camera running in 4K tonight. So I'm hoping we get a little better fidelity to the image quality tonight. It seems to be working better. I can run it in the 90-degree field of view and then zoom it in, and the quality seems okay. It seems like running the 90-degree FOV and then zooming it in with the 4K does yield better autofocus results. Jason Smith says, I exist, my friend. That's about as good as it gets. Hey, existing is a place, and it's better than bad. I guess. Well, I hope you're finding happy moments to improve your moments of just existing. We got a few bonus models here tonight. Let's zoom in. It looks like the camera's got a little bit of a delay trying to handle the 4K. It might be time to start thinking about upgrading this computer, but I don't think it shouldn't be too bad. It shouldn't be too bad. I'm watching it on the playback here. Got a little bit of latency. The frame rate is definitely down. I'm seeing that for sure. So that could be problematic. Y'all let me know down below if it gets too bad. I think it's okay. These are some bonus mechs for the upcoming Village People mechs. Printed them out from Matt Mason's Syllogy collection. We got our Enforcer and a Quick Draw. And then this adorable little Commando printed out at the proper scale. I just thought that one was really, really funny. But that's for another time. We did manage to get off a Bumblebee. Man, that frame rate is kind of murder. Kind of murder. Let's see. See if I can't give it a quick little adjustment here. What about going down? What about going down just a bit from the 4K to what's the next step down? It's currently in 4096 by 2160 resolution. What if we bring it down to 1440 and see how that ends up looking? See if we can get a little better performance. I mean, I'm immediately seeing a frame rate that's better, but it don't want to focus. So 4K it is. Not really 100% sure what to do to get it going, but it's a, you know, it's a work in progress. We're getting there. We are getting there step by step. Let's pop it back. Big. Let's go big. Get this thing going right. How's that? Oh, it's fighting me. It's fighting me. Full screen preview. I mean, it is unparalleled to get it to that point, and it wants to focus. That's the big thing I was seeing earlier, is like when I'm painting down here, it's actually trying to focus on the stuff. Well, I say that, and now it's not wanting to focus naturally. How about bringing it in like this? Is that gonna focus for us? We gonna get some focus? No, not really. It's trying. It's struggling. There's definitely like 1 or 2 second delay. I swear I did some testing last night before we went into it. Is that the Death Knell Commando? It is the standard COM 2D. Commando super tiny compared to the CGL model. Yeah, exactly. I print one at 125% scale, still smaller than the CGL Commando. I think I may try to do that. That sounds like a really wise decision to print it slightly upsized. So, without further ado, let's get in on this Bumblebee model. And I did notice some problems with it. This is one of those models where the sculptor has maybe attacked this model without a mind to like actually printing and painting the thing, because there's some really thin bits that just don't work when they're that thin. And one of them was the toe connections, the toe fins that broke off, that I did not notice breaking off before. They're too small. The connection points are too small to survive printing. So the toe fins came off of the supports. Also, y'all let me know, please let me know if that frame rate is just completely unwatchable. I'm not sure what to do about it other than just start improving this computer in general, honestly. So yeah, we're in 4K on this camera, but it's still a webcam, and that's just you know what a webcam do. Maybe we'll put a little contrast down here too, so we can see what's going on. Yeah, it's a little better. All right, so we're gonna clean up these support marks. Oh man, it's wild. Now that we're live, it is working like absolute trash. And I'm a little disappointed. I'm a little disappointed that you do all this testing and this preliminary stuff, and then you set into the live event and problems immediately bounce up. I'll be rewatching this whole stream tomorrow. There's an interwebs problem at the moment, seeing your 4K in pixelated mobile speed. Well, it's not much of an improvement over what I'm seeing here. We've got some really low frame rate on the 4K camera. I think my computer just can't hack it. Could always paint up that busted Bumblebee as cliff jumper. I don't know what a cliff jumper is. Okay, so where was I waffling about this thing? Okay, so when I pulled the initial Bumblebee off the build plate, the connections right here are like 0.05 millimeters or 0.005 millimeters thick. They're paper thin. and there's nothing left to leave it connected. So the artist who sculpted it is not quite savvy to some of the elements that make hand sculpted and old models better. Like, you got to beef up details, or they're just too fragile to be used. I also ended up snapping it here, and then the same thing happened back here. The connection point for the back fin on the back foot is so small that it just snaps right off. Like, you can't print it, or at least my printer can't print it. So what I've managed to do is remove them from the supports and keep them all here, and I'm going to attempt to glue it back together. He's another small bot. Fair enough. All right, so let's get this bumblebee foot reassembled, and then we can jump into to painting up. And you know, honestly, this frame rate is really just, it's so bad. There's like a full second delay between what I'm doing and then what the camera is capturing. So how about let's try to force a frame rate here and see how that goes. I've set it to 29.97. Yeah, there's still like a full second delay. I guess my computer just can't handle 4K. Disappointing. Disappointing indeed. Pretty sure this computer is an i5 processor, and I've got the old 1050 graphics card in it. So I think we may have to reduce the resolution, unfortunately. Let's try that. Let's try this and see how the delay is. We reduced the oh my god, go. No, it's still pretty bad. Still pretty bad. My computer can't handle 4K, y'all. It's very sad. Okay. Well, I have clickbaited the folks, because my machine cannot handle 4K. I didn't mean to, but here we go. All right. Yeah. I put it in 1440 and it's immediately like better, but it don't want to focus. And that was the big concern. Wow. I'm so disappointed. I'm so very, very disappointed. This is one of those like, fuck it, let's do it live moments. FML. Good Lord. All right. I think we're just stuck here for now. I'll look into to upgrading the machine. Hey there, fella. I'm going to go grab some Taco Bell and I'll be back. Hey, welcome, Sod9. Caught your stream earlier. Had some good moments. Had some headshots on both you and the baddies, which I thought was infinitely entertaining. I like seeing moments of skillful maneuvers as well as moments of crushing defeats. It's a good variety today. All right, so we're gonna get out our glue. Just like so disappointing. So very, very disappointing. that this is just like so gnarly. Oh, is it straight up froze up at this point? Man, might help if you ran through your gaming rig just the camera. Well, unfortunately, I can't do that because that computer is about 10 feet away over there, and I would need to stream from that machine than this one, rather than this one, which really sucks. Sent you a couple reference pictures, DM, no rushes, you need to do the other bots. Nope, I appreciate the references. This is a specific order, so we'll be doing just the order. All right, Nightbot said it, letting us know that during the Second World War, German tank drivers would drive their vehicles over camel droppings, thinking would bring them good luck. Is that like a local thing? Maybe? All right, so let's... I really don't want to ruin this here card. I can ruin this one. I have extras. Let's use Saladin 012 Liaison Officer as a temporary guest palette for the evening. All right, so how far in are we? I've just spent a million years, 20 minutes mucking around with this silly thing. The bad frame rate is really, it sucks. So I will do my best to work on that. But tonight, I think maybe we suffer through it in favor of the good focus. Yeah, I really think that's the call. Let's see if we can't repair this lad here. And glue these pieces on that are too small. I mean, they're paper thin. Just like, look, a public plea out there to sculptors, to mini sculptors. I know that the 3D sculpting is everywhere and a dime a dozen, and there's so many cool models available. Please, a little consideration to your model in miniature scale. You can blow it up huge. You can make it gigantic, and it makes for easy working. But then you print this thing out at regular scale, and it's like you're dealing with sections of the model that are fractions of a millimeter, and it's not enough. There's a reason that models are chunky. There's a reason they have parts that are oversized. There's, you know, you couldn't have scale bits on these things and expect it to work and be very usable. There we go. So we got the toes back on Bumblebee here. I'm so scared I'm gonna break this too while we're painting on it. May need to do kind of break and stream to iron out the camera issues at some point. Nope, the camera issues are a matter of I have upgraded the camera, and now I need to upgrade the computer to handle the camera. And that's what it appears to be. All right, let's try to figure out where this bit goes on. I think it goes the other way around, like so. Yeah, it really sucks. It's a matter of upgrading the computer at this point. Okay. I think this fin goes on like so. It's kind of hard to tell. Yeah, so this fin is connected by a little post. There's no way y'all are gonna see it. it's connected by a little tiny post that is maybe 1/4 of a millimeter thick. And it's like, you beef those up. You beef them up so your models will survive being handled. It's not even enough. There's not even enough material there to let the glue cure to hold it. So what I'm going to need to do is put an excess here, and then we're going to preset. We're going to preset this with some accelerator, so that the moment I touch this to it, oh, that's the wrong model. What has happened here? Okay, in manipulating and moving this model around, I've broken it again. I've broken the other fin. So it just really further hammers home my point of this model was designed and sculpted by someone who does not understand the some of the little intricacies of model sculpting and why some details get beefed up. Heroic scale exists for a reason. You know, it's not just a stylistic choice to make the hands and faces and stuff on Games Workshop models, the old ones I should say, bigger. I know that they've been switching to like more of a more realistic scale these days, but like the hands and faces and weapons are all really big, so that, well, for one, you can pick out the details at a distance, but two, so they're paintable, so you can work on them so they don't snap like this. These like fractionally millimeter scale sized, shame. The real shame here, though, is that if I knew a little bit more about sculpting, I'd just go in and correct it so that the client's model doesn't break while he's using them, as they are going to invariably and inevitably do. Just, you can't have paper thin details on your models. There's a Huron Warrior mech out there with like a paper thin frill on the back of its neck. I have never been able to get one off the supports without it breaking. Not one. I've printed several. I got a Marauder 2C in a salvage box today. Ooh, fancy one indeed. Marauder 2C is an excellent pull. Okay, so all this complaining done. Got my model ready, and it's cured up. I made sure to cure it up this time. I printed it out several hours before the stream, so we're ready to rock and roll. And we're gonna prime. Unfortunately, more prime in this stream, but you know, it's part of the hobby. So let's do it. Let's get to it. I'm gonna move these lads off to the side for a moment. And let's get out our little spray booth thingamabob. And a couple of these. So we got our dirty water, our clean water. We got a pipette. We've got our airbrush. We've got our Stynylrez. I've got a respirator right here on the floor, ready to go. Let's do that. Marauders are sexy, even the panels. Yes, I agree. Yeah, it gives me 2 of them now. I bought the Clan Heavy Pack. Well, still a nice pull though. Since I added the salvage box in to qualify for a discount. Amazing. The bolster with blue while still on the supports. Yes. Yes, I agree. Actually, it's funny. That occurred to me right as I pulled the thing off and saw it snap off. Okay, so fun update for y'all. I did not, in fact, clean my airbrush, and instead did exactly what I do every single time, and just, you know, packed it away during the stream. So we're going to start out by hitting our airbrush pot with a little bit of acetone, and we're going to try to work our needle in and out. There we go. It is flowing fairly smoothly through there. I see some gunk, but there we go. It's moving at least, and that's what we want. Better than last time, it would appear. Yeah, it's moving. Okay. Let's turn this on and get our air hooked up. We're going to spray a little bit of water through it to get rid of the acetone. Great job, Law. Yeah, exactly. I am so negligent. I am nothing if not negligent in my hobby. Okay. But that does get us ready to prime it up. It is prime time. Let's get rolling with some more of the same. Update for the future of the channel as well. I have a visualizer that I've yet to import over to this machine, but I've got a neat little plug-in setup that does a readout of the current playing tracks, so y'all can see what the names and the artists are of the music, how long they last, all that fun stuff. Been working on it for a few days. I've still got about 25, 30 album art images to import, something like that. Again, I hope that frame rate isn't too bad. What's it running, like 1520 or something? I could just manually reduce the frame rate to 20 and see if it improves the performance. This time I've got a very light, let me see if I can demonstrate. I've got a very light flow of light coming out. So by keeping our airbrush flow that low, we're able to keep working over the model and slowly build up the white in a way that it doesn't have to take a million years to dry out. Like I'm spraying this model the whole time, and the surface is not tacky, and it's not building up too thick of a coat. I figure by using this technique, we're able to, I won't have to prime the other models. Frames are fine here. Okay, excellent, good to know. I mean, I'm watching it on the playback, and it's a little slow. I can see that it's like, there's not only a delay between what I'm doing and what the camera's capturing, but the frame rate is definitely lower than IRL. I will continually work on improving it though. At some point, probably involving just rebuilding this machine. Maybe putting a different processor in it or something. Scavenging the parts and building a new one. It is a shame So this machine is a hand-me-down from a buddy, and it's an Acer. Oh shit, I can't remember, and I'd have to dig down there to find it. It's an Acer machine that is the lower end version of the same deal. So they had two versions of the machine, and they both come in the same case. So my case has USB 3.0 slot, but there's nowhere on the motherboard. They're not connected to the motherboard. They don't work. Probably the frame rate of your monitor. Interesting. Look, I'm watching it on the phone here, and it's definitely, it looks a little stuttery. Okay, we got our bumblebee all whited up. We're gonna spray this thing out. Of course, it just hit me too that the problems I'm experiencing could be something else, which I'll show y'all in just a moment. Those of y'all who are Discord regulars know that I've been talking about wanting to do a dual camera setup on my ceiling mount, and I've done that. I got the new spigot for the camera mount. I set it up to be a double-sided one. I've moved the USB slots around. Got the Brio in the 3.0 slots, and then got the new one hooked up as well. And it's led to some silliness. And I bet you it's robbing some of my performance. Also, sorry, anytime I wear that damn respirator, I gather a whole bunch of moisture in the tip of my nose. All right. So I have to wonder if some of the frame rate for that camera, some of the computing power is going over to this thing here. I'll show you. So I hooked up a desk cam. Boom. Is that working? Do I have to hit the transition button to make it work? Do I have to make it work? Yeah. Let's see. Did it move stuff around? I think it may have moved some stuff around. It did just like screw everything up some. Howdy! Well, howdy, Ronald. Welcome to a stream here in the corner. We're getting some work done. Yeah, that did just straight up mess everything up. Why did it do that? I'm confused. Why did my background just shift over so far? The hell? Background. What? It's... Alright, the hell is happening here? Why is this... What? Why? Why is this all shifting around like that? There we go. Is that working? What? I have no idea why it jumped over like that. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, that's very confusing. Anyhow, I set up this camera. This guy right here. For down here. Happy that you're getting stuff done. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. We got some hobby stuff happening here for a commission. Working on these fabulous little Transformers mechs. Let's zoom this in, get a little closer. Oh wow, what's the problem? That took That took a long time to respond. Yeah, it probably is the third webcam that's slowing things down. I still need to get my commission to you. The whole not having a job thing is kind of interfering with that. Oh, that's tough. Tough to hear, man. I hope that the hunt goes a little smoother in the near future. No pressure on that commission either. I'll be here waiting whenever you're ready. Okay, so I might have a contract gig starting like next week, hopefully. Hell yes. That is a hopeful moment. All right, so let's think about getting this bumblebee painted up to look like a bumblebee. And that's going to be another like checking the reference materials moments. But first, let's hydrate this here wet palette. I hope that the stream looks all right. That things are still running somewhat smoothly. Y'all can see my crazy messy desk over here now. This is like, here, let me walk you through it. What are we seeing? What all are we seeing? Okay, so we got the isopropyl. We got the LA's Totally Awesome. We got the fresh isopropyl. We got acetone for a clean out pot. We've got our fresh acetone. We've got our clean water, and we've got our dirty water. And then these are all the paints that have been accumulating as we're working on the project. I thought it might be fun to incorporate that. I might use this as a separate angle, but I need another boom arm that comes out this way and doesn't interfere with this camera here in the corner. Nightbot with a factoid for us says that the longest unbroken alliance in world history is between England and Portugal. It's lasted since 1386 and still stands today. Very, very neat. Thank you, Nightbot, for this useless factoid for the evening. All right. I think I need to grab my phone so that I can check the reference materials. So I'm going to be right back in about 25 seconds. Like, I know Bumblebee yellow. I know Bumblebee yellow. That's about all I have. That's about all I know. So let's do... Need to pull up the Discord and pull up... Oh my god, here we go. I forget where it was at. Was it 3D printing? It was in 3D printing. Okay. So this is our lad. And it's very simple. Very simple yellows. Yellow and black with a white face. And honestly, he's kind of sculpted to look like the Bumblebee from the movie. So it's going to be mostly just yellow, I think. So let's do the same as before, but with a little less desaturation in it. We're going to start out with our Citadel Contrast Imperial Fist. He also car, yeah. It was indeed. Thank you. Thank you all so much. Those of y'all who don't know about the Discord, check it out in the description down below. It's a great place full of really awesome hobby-centric folk. We do all kinds of silly chatting there, whether talking about Country Fried Minis inside jokes or showing off models we're painting, or just talking video games. There's a little bit of stuff for everybody there. Big recommend checking out Country Fried Minis Discord. Link in the description down below. Nightbot also tends to spam it every now and then. All right, so we're going to take a little bit of the Nasdrag yellow. I can see that the camera just don't want to focus. Let me turn back off the desk cam and see maybe that improves it. Okay. I wonder if I set this properties here to deactivate when not showing, if that will give me some performance boost. I think it might. I also have to transition back in, it would appear. There we go. We'll turn on the desk cam when it's appropriate. Zach P says, I'm realizing now that the model is based off the movie one, not the Generation 1 Bumblebee, which is weird. Do you want a reference for what I think is closest to that one? Might be better. If you have a reference that you'd prefer me to work with, feel free to kick it on over. I can pull it up right here on the Discord. Else, I'm just gonna try to match it to the old art. And honestly, if I recall correctly, the movie Bumblebee is still pretty close to what the cartoon art would be. It's mostly just like mostly a yellow lad, yellow and black. So I have no idea why I just licked that. I think y'all know. Brush Lickers Unite. I have made this a little too brown, so we're going to add in a little bit more yellow and bring it back from the brink. And this is just contrast. Just our contrast colors, because we're still putting foundations on. Picking up the slack from yesterday. Let's see here. So, yeah. Here we go. We're just doing the yellow. Yellow and black. And then I just saw a share of this guy. Okay, so yeah, this is indeed what it's based off of. I think it's kind of the same. We're just doing yellow and black. You know, it's more this like greasy metallic color, which we may end up doing that metallic color for our blacks anyways. But this one will be nice and simple. It's just a whole bunch of yellow. Perfect. Thank you very much, Zach. All right. I just licked that again. I don't know what's wrong with me, y'all. I really don't know what's wrong with me. It's like I compulsively eat the paint. Can't help it. It's too good. All right. So once again, we're just going to hit this with some nice contrast layering work. Can we get this to focus tonight? This was working way better. I promise y'all. I was up till like 2 in the morning working on this. It was working fine. It was looking good. It was like actually focusing on the models. And now that we're live, I'm just running into all kinds of issues. It never ends. Never ends. Let's do 90-degree field of view with full zoom. Yeah, it's almost like the zoom doesn't go in as far as it was last night. And I don't know how to fix that at all. This is zoomed all the way in. Like, it should be up his nose at this zoom level. Not sure what's going on there. Maybe my mucking with it earlier just broke some setting and I have to restart it. Said to your Discord, matches close to the models would be easier to make accurate. Yeah, most still yellow, but the face of different colors is the biggest difference. Okay, yeah. And I think we won't get that level of color variation on the small scale models. It's just more more interpretive. So any and all of the the black areas that I've been painting will be done more metallic fashion. Man, they just look at that. It's just it's not focusing. Oh, it's so sad. So sad, y'all. The hoops that have been getting jumped through to make this work. Let's try cranking up the sharpness a bit again. That does seem to be something that this camera kind of struggles with, or helps the camera to struggle less, I should say. All right. It looks like the torso is mostly yellow, so that's what we're gonna do. Just build this torso's yellow up. A lot of the fun details on the models is going to come from ink washes and a little bit of dry brushing, and then some edge chipping effects, which always add a ton to the model. And at the very, very end, we're going to hit them with an oil wash. And if this is, you know, a project y'all are hype about and would like to see more of, get ready for it, because it's going to be a series of streams of both these lads and then the what are the bad guys? What are the bad guys? The Decepticons? Will be the Decepticons next. And then after that there's a bonus mech, which will be fun. So buckle up for some streamed content where we finish a project start to end. I guess it's not too far off of what we were doing with Titania either, though. She was, what, 5 streams? And I gotta confess, I have another confessions with Cam time for y'all. Titania is technically still not done. I pivoted to the Dragon project to try and get this thing out, and then Titania is just kind of sitting unfinished. What is the whole idea? Too many irons in the fire? No, we'll get it done though. Get her over the finish line. Get her there, you know? Okay, so I think with Bumblebee here, we can probably just get away with doing a base layer of this yellow over most of it. And then when I go back in with the black, I've got to kind of thread the needle to get it on the under armor bits. I maybe even should have just started with that. In fact, I absolutely should have started with that. So we'll see. We'll see if I have the brush skills to needle in the black next. Isn't that the one with the creepy dude standing in some desert? What? The delay between me saying a thing and then like looking up from what I'm doing and then looking at chat and having it register, because this is definitely not live. It says it's live. Also, I realized the chat was set to top and not live. If I get lost, it's just because I've already forgotten what I've said. You know, so much of this streaming is just like stream of consciousness stuff. You know, I'm just kind of thinking out loud about what's going on, pretending I know what I'm talking about, occasionally responding with a stock response to the things y'all are saying in the chat. That said, I find it immensely entertaining and have had an absolute blast with streaming. Okay, so he's got like got some interesting stuff going on with the panels on the movie art. So I think what we're gonna do is try to do most of the lower legs in yellow. And then we will make sure to slowly drift to the left of frame while we're working. That's an important part of the process. I'm going to switch to a different brush here in a moment, a smaller one. Once we do this next section right here. And then I'll show y'all the reference, what I'm thinking about here in just a second. All right, so get our yellow on, and then we'll do a dunkaroo over here, and I'll bring this reference material back out to show you what I've just spotted. If I could pick up the damn thing. All right, so on the thighs here, we've got like the majority of the thighs is this like metallic kind of brownish color, which we'll start with the black and then hit it with a metallic dry brush over top. And we've got this like band of yellow here. And I think the way we're going to replicate that, Nightbot claims that William Shakespeare had a curse engraved on his tombstone to prevent anyone from moving his bones. That is a repeat fact. Nightbot, get some new material, man. All right. So I see a detail on our little wolfhound here that'll work for what we're going for, I think. It probably don't show up too well. The contrast isn't super high. Also, for some reason, the zoom just doesn't go in as far as it used to. Okay, so got like this panel here that leads to this section right here, and there's like a recessed area. So I think what we're gonna do, in fact, I don't think, what I'm just stating what we're gonna do is put this yellow. Put all this yellow on the top portion of this section right here. And we're going to put the black in the recesses. So it's almost like the thigh itself is black with some yellow paneling over top. Unlike the lower half, which is just going to be, you know, yellow. Brush is actually a little small for this. Let's do this is a 2 round. Today I panel lined some more, paint got on the model, on my fingers, in my mouth, an equal amount. Yes. Need to watch that clip again. Mutants are fun. I'm so lost. I'm talking about mutants. I'm convinced. Okay, so there's this whole thing with inside jokes happening in the Country Fried Minis community. I'm convinced y'all got inside jokes on the inside jokes that even I don't get. And I'm an active participant in the community. Okay. So same deal here. We're gonna just put the yellow on this elevated panel. and leave this area underneath ready for the black in a bit. We'll do that same thing we did on what's the big guy called? I'm just gonna call him Big Guy. Oh man, it must be maddening to y'all Transformers fans for me to just like have no idea what any of this stuff is. I gotta wonder if this is what commission artists feel when the clients request something that you don't understand fully. Oh wait, that's exactly what's going on here. Calixus CSI, welcome. Joke Sepson is real, baby. Also, seeing the Transformers, have you read the Quad V rules for Battletech? I have given them a once-over at one point, but never put them into practice, so like they didn't stick. They do look really fun, though. It is a neat thing. I know that treads are, you know, always an option when you're building your mechs. Ooh. Charger Derby with treads. It's silly, but it could work. I have a hair on this model. A little piece of fuzz. A little piece of fuzz. I need to get lifted off. Come on, you. Come on, you. There we go. Alright. Okay, so let's think about... Oh, I need to do the other knee pad first. Before I get ahead of myself, let's do this knee pad. We're still using our 2-round. I'm trying to keep it in frame for y'all. Okay. Alright. I see another spot on the lower leg as well. Needs a little dip of the contrast in here. Alright, so let's take a peek at those feet. It looks like the feet are, for the most part, like the metallic color. A little bit... Oh my god. It's on the toe and the heel. So let's do exactly that. Let's just paint the toe. We'll do the toe and the heel. And it should probably wrap around the bottom too. Alright, we'll do the toe and the little heel bit. Oh. Oh!
Victory was subscribed to the channel.
Well, thanks for the sub, Victor. Amazing. Love seeing them gifts show up. I like that one a lot. It's butter melting on a biscuit. We forgive you, man. Yeah. Conversation was about a music video. I'll post it in the share. So yeah, I'm so lost. It's actually a lot of fun to see an artist work on something they aren't familiar with. You get to see how the artist interrupts stuff rather than be beholden to making it 100% lore accurate. Yeah. I gotta admit too, I feel really spoiled working on this project. To have a community of people I can reach out to and just get instant help with the topic. We were chatting in Discord, was it just last night, about the 80s Transformer movie, and thinking of doing a Discord hangout of watching it sometime soon. So, you know, another pull to y'all out there who aren't already members of the Discord. Consider joining up. We do hang out and voice chat and unwind after streams and hang out and play video games together. It's good stuff. You'd be a welcome part, I'm sure. Especially if you paint battlemechs. I want to see them battlemechs. Yes. Yes, I do. Okay, so I think that's all the yellow we're going to do on the Bumblebee. The yellow's a little bit a little bit in orange territory, but I think we could hit it with a phalanx yellow dry brush. And let's turn this thing back on. Let's get the desk cam back on, so y'all can see that I do wash the brushes. I do wash the brushes. Figured out why I was so distorted last night. My print tent is a Faraday cage. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Nightbot coming through with another factoid. It says Tirana, the capital of Albania, has a lot of things in common with other European capitals except one. It's one of two capitals without McDonald's. That is a repeat factoid. Nightbot. I mean, look, the list that Nightbot is pulling from is like 400 plus long. And we've made it through what? Maybe like 30 facts before it's starting to loop back around. Frustrating. Oh yeah. Interpret, not interrupt. Yeah, realizing cannot spell. That's par for the course. You wouldn't be the first person in here suffering at the hands of autocorrect and trying to spell things. All right, so let's try to find in this mess our Black Legion. I think this here artwork has Bumblebee kind of like a brownish tone, right? More so than black. Let's try to evoke that, I think. So we'll do Wildwood instead of Black Templar or Black Legion. And I think that should work, because this stuff is almost black. Oh.
Zach P subscribed to the channel.
Zach P subscribed to the channel. Thanks for the sub, Zach. Welcome to the Country Fried community. We do fun stuff here. Admittedly, the content is not as much battletech as it needs to be. But slowly working back in that direction. You know, got to remember our roots here. All right, let's take a peek at Bumblebee's face. Is more like a chrome type color. I think we may just hit that with silver here in a bit, instead of trying to do it with the contrast. So for now, we're just going to take our 20-0 liner and we're going to start applying, well, maybe not even the 20-0 yet. We use this here 2 and start applying our Wildwood, which is brown, but it's very, very dark brown. And I think it'll work really well, because we'll hit this later with some metallic dry brush over top, and it'll help sell that like dirty, grimy, brownish effect. Just got to be real careful not to hit the areas that we already have ready to go. Ronald says random number generators aren't that random. Yeah, I keep talking about it. I need to code or get some help to code a command for Nightbot that calls factoids, but then like saves a database somewhere. Maybe I'll host it on the Country Fried Minis website. I need it to save a database, or at least like cross-reference the database somehow, and make a running list of the facts it's already spouted, and then pull from the random number string query or whatever it is, based on, you know, not that list, until that list matches all the options and then resets. I know it's probably trivial, and I bet you dollars to donuts I could even get ChatGPT to write it. I just, my knowledge of coding is very rudimentary. I took like a class in high school a million years ago, and I messed around in RPG Maker, and that's about it. I can help probably. Oh man, I'll shoot you a DM at some point. I'm sure it's simple. I'm sure it's very simple. I even have the, like, it's... Shit, I bet I could even... Alright, so those of y'all who don't know, who aren't familiar with the Country Fried Mini streams, this is a thing that happens quite often in the workflow streams. But these distractions happen. Oh, it's making me sign in. We'll sign in here. Yeah, and we'll sign in there. Yeah, and we'll do that. And then where's my dashboard and my commands? All right, yeah, here we go. Oh my God, let me do it as a desktop site intro. So it's just like, it's pulling a message every now and then. Can I get that on screen there? It's pulling a message every now and then. I bet that ain't registering at all. It's just pulling a message every now and then that's, let's see, URL fetch. It's pulling something from this list, and then it's doing a query string of some sort with a math.random. It looks simple. It looks really, really simple. I just need to add in an extra step to have it cross-reference. It needs to cross-reference a database of numbers it's already done, or lines it's already done. And I think it'd be fairly trivial if I just knew a little bit more code. And for what it's worth, that code is I did not write it. It's readily available on the interwebs. Ooh, shit. So Nightbot basically it runs a timer. It runs a timer that triggers once chat hits a certain number of lines per minute, and then it'll spout out a command, or it'll spout out text, and you can add commands into it. They do look really, really simple. I just I'm an idiot, you know. I know art, not numbers. Okay, so this here brown may not be exactly the color I'm after, but I think what we're gonna do is just go with it and then hit it with a little bit of hit it with a black wash and deepen the tone. I should have mixed in like a drop or two of the Black Templar into it. I don't see source for Nightbot. Yeah, okay. I think you'd have to externalize it. Totally do it in a Word document. Yeah, it's calling a paste bin document as it is. I think you would have to externalize it. I don't see source for Nightbot. I could totally do it in DBase, but it won't run on modern equipment. Yeah. It's... I think it's super simple. I mean, in my mind, it's really simple. I just don't, like, understand the mechanics of trying to get it to do what I want it to do. It just needs to check database, pull up the paste bin document, check database for lines it's already done, check list of database entries versus the list of lines in the paste bin document. If not all used, then use one that is not used. Simple. And it is pretty remarkable. We're almost at an era where I could tell my computer that that's what I want and have it do it in a foolproof fashion. I've seen ChatGPT do some wonderful things. I was actually mucking around with it to try and get it to write a Discord bot, and got hung up on the implementation of it. But it was really impressive. Really impressive. To just be like, hey, ChatGPT, I need you to write a piece of code that does this. And it's like, oh, this should work. Here you go. Here you are, friend. Whose internet down? Yeah. Looks like it was mine. No. It is, but if the source ain't there, it's hard. Okay. That is yet another repeat factoid from our old friend Nightbot there. It is just one after another with these repeats. Don't know why. I'm assuming it's like pulling the random number from like seeds it's already used or something. Oh man, I really should have done this in the other order and done the like brown black first. This is proving difficult. It's fine. It'll all come out in the wash, literally, when we wash it. That wash will go in and find our problem spots and make it all better. So again, this is Wildwood from Games Workshop, from Citadel. This is a very dark black, or dark brown contrast color. I initially used this for the bases on my US Ariadne models. Was using it for the tree bark, for all the down trees and whatnot. It's a nice color. I think I needed to go a little darker for this application, actually. A little bit of black. But what I'll do is get this on there and hit it with the Nuln Oil. Get that Nuln Oil down into the crevices. Nice thick black wash. Make it all better. Just trying to get that like grimy brown kind of color that Bumblebee has. Sure is. Oh, there we go. Nightbot is finally spamming the Discord. So come on over, check out the Country Fried Minis Discord. Share your work. There's a link in the chat. There's a link in the description down below if you're finding this via the algorithm after the fact. We're a fun group of folks. It's a happy and welcoming space, and we want to see your mechs. Show us what you got. All right. I hope I've been in frame decently here. I'm trying. I promise I'm trying, y'all. Get some like pipes. Oh shit! Did I break it? No, I didn't break it. Some like pipes coming up from the waist here. I think we're also going to make those brown. Kind of tie that in right across the back there. All right. A little bit of thread in the needle action going on here. Okay. All right. Go back to working on the foot, the other foot. You're good on staying off in frame with the model. Your head keeps dipping out of the face cam though. Yeah, it's not perfectly lined up. So the clamp that holds this thing down was never meant to be like locked in place. It's one of those like kind of floaty ones that you put on the edge of your monitor. So to make it work and make it stick there, I just hot glued the hell out of it until it stuck. And in doing so, it's actually a little high. It's a little high, but I don't know. It's decent. I'm in there like, what, 30% of the time? But that's fine. Y'all get enough of my mug anyways in the videos. This way you just get a good look at my scalp and hairline there. Really just owning it. Although I think I'm just about thin enough to think about chopping the locks off, which will be a sad day. Like the full production isn't a worry because I got the hat on, you know, but definitely starting to thin a little on top. What is it? Time and tide, wait for no man. Okay. Just still foundational work. Getting a little paint on this doodad, on all his bits and bobs and doohickeys and whatnot. Trying to not leave white gaps. All right, there we go. Coming along. It's wild how tedious this can be sometimes. You'd think that, like, because it's contrast paint, you just slap it on there and it'd be done, but no, there's some thought to the application. All right. Let's do some right here. Try not to spill it over too much. I think I've used this song here before in one of the shorts. This might have been the unboxing the Star Wars models with the Hell Knight. Okay. Damn, this is slow going, y'all. But headway is being made nonetheless. I'm getting there too, man. Yeah. I feel that. I feel it. It'll be a sad day when I cut this hair, I think. Although, you know, I say that, and it's kind of a quite often an annoyance. My hair's kind of wavy, so like I wake up every day with like big fat knots in it that have to be brushed out. I guess the friction of lying in bed combined with the shape of the hair pattern leads to some bunching. Oop, I see a support I left on this lad. Let's get out our little sharp blade here. I have some stormtroopers I need to get back to at some point. Not sure when or if I'll ever use them, but still, yeah. It'd be a fun project. Stormtroopers are tough because they're like the whole, you know, trying to paint white well thing. I got a buddy who's a novice painter, and the force that he's chosen to play, or the force that he plays and already has the models for, is officially a white paint scheme. So he's been learning a lot really fast in some of the techniques and ideas behind painting white and painting it well. It's a very hard model to paint right here. Frustratingly so. Probably going to make a few mistakes that I have to go in and correct. See if I can get the brush control enough to thread the needle. Like I need this dark color threaded. Whole lot of thread in the needle here. Keyhole shots. I don't know if y'all can even see that. I'm trying here. It's okay. If we get a little bit of spillover, it's fine because it'll get. We'll do the sponge chipping at some point, which will go a long way in hiding some of our crimes. But damn, it's rough trying to get a few of these spots. This is not a super well thought out model compared to the other ones. Like, I think the sculptor maybe should have done this in multiple parts and had these arms detachable. I think I know that guy. He's local, right? Because we meet at a local battletech thing in SF. Yes. Yes, indeed. You do know that guy. He's been working on an Aleph army. And, like, getting to the whole, getting to the level of understanding that, like, white models aren't actually white, was kind of mind-blowing for him. It was actually really awesome to see that moment of that epiphany in, you know, figuring out that, like, the way to look at colors, you know, like, to folks who have never painted anything before, you could assume that, like, oh, I paint on this color and it's this color, and not like, what are the colors that make up the shadow tones and the highlights and all that to create the effect that is this color, as a seasoned miniature painter would understand. Okay, we have managed to get paint on most of one arm. I'm about to struggle with the front right here. This gap is going to be a nightmare. Let's see if we can't operation this thing. It's like a exhale and squeeze situation. I did touch the sides a little bit though. Yeah, I definitely should have done this first. Rookie mistake here. generally when thinking about the sequence of how you want to paint your model, you want to start with the deeper areas first. So in this case, I should have painted this darker color in the recesses and then considered putting the yellow on the panels that go over top. Always fun to mentor people through genres. Yeah, I agree. Nightbot with another factoid for y'all, claiming that Abraham Lincoln loved cats and once let one eat from the table during a formal White House dinner. Hell yeah, dude. Let that cat eat. Who says cats can't hang out and enjoy a little bit of chow? So, I used to have this little Chihuahua for years and years and years. She lived to be about 13. Long life, happy dog, good dog. But I took her everywhere with me, and I recall one day I was eating at this Chinese spot on 9th and Mission. Unfortunately, no longer there, which sucks. It's a really good spot. They did like a noodles and 2 items type menu for a really good price. But I went in there and got my plate and sat down at the table and just let my dog share my plate right there. I mean, she's little. She only eats that much. I saw you paint your finger. You've been caught. Oh yeah, paint my finger. Paint my finger. You say, oh look, I've already got a happy face on there. What about we need one of these going on. And then like this. And then like that. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. I think that's a clip that's going to be happening very soon. Been having a lot of fun with these little silly shorts. I actually took a page out of your book there, Sod9, with you clipping down your streams. I think it's a really good idea to put out a little bit of extra bonus content that's fun, generate a little bit of buzz about coming in and checking out the streams proper. I do need to get back to making the informative shorts. I had a lot of fun doing those. They're like the VHS tape style episodes of one quick hobby tip. The next one I have in mind is talking about sprue goo. With some footage from the skink, the GW skink I did with Peganeko. The collab video. I think it'll be a good little tip, and I think I can sell the idea and show the application in a minute and set it to some fun music and it'll work fine. Just a little extra. Missed a little bit of white there. Damn, I tell y'all, this is a tough model to paint. I think in hindsight, if I were painting this and I wasn't doing this like contrast base coat style, I would have started with a black base coat all over and then done opaque colors to build up the layers. Maybe put some white down and then put the yellow over top. But these, it's a fun dynamic pose, but this is not easy. not easy at all to hit these spots with brushwork. We're getting there though. Paint stroke by paint stroke. Okay. Where am I at? I done distracted myself. Man, this track's got some serious, like, bedtime vibes to it. I'm wondering if that siren's coming through. I've noticed that OBS pretty good. OBS pretty good about blocking out that extra noise. All right. Damn, this sucks. This is not a fun part of this paint up. I dare say this is the opposite of fun right here. Trying to thread the needle and hit these little bits, not fun at all. I should have done this in the reverse order. Done it to myself. Like, there's no angle to get the brush in there. God, this is ridiculous. I can't even, like, it's not possible to reach that. Do I have a longer brush? A little bit. Lots of little nooks to reach, yeah. So maybe this one will do it. I think this is long enough to reach it, but it's not quite fine enough. I wonder if I have one up here that's super long and thin. Maybe this one. I think that might do it. I can't tell what size it is. Oh, there it is. It's a 3.0. This is a 1. Maybe 3.0 is the one. All right. So I'm thinking this really long tip doodaddy madonger here will do it. It's very poorly sculpted. I mean, like, the detail's fine. What I mean by poorly sculpted is, like, there's been zero consideration for the painting experience. Like, ideally, I need brush fibers this long to sneak past and bend past the tip of this gun arm and squeeze it in there and hit that white patch without just coating everything around it. I'm just gonna have to coat everything around it and then repaint it. Awful. Awful paint. Awful sculpt. Awful. See if I can't clean some of this off to make it a little easier to paint over. I mean, fun. It's an accurate bumblebee sculpted onto a wolfhound chassis, but this sculptor knows nothing about the painting experience and why it's so important to sculpt in such a certain way. Or a hook tip, yeah. The only one I got is real short and wide, yes. So now, like, to put, I still see, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just fucking glob this on there, since I'm having to paint white over, and then I'm gonna have to paint white over this anyways, and then repaint the yellow. Let's just correct where I screwed up before. just do what I should have done in the first place. I could have saved y'all 20 minutes of sitting here messing with this stupid thing. Oh my god. Awful. Awful experience. God awful experience. This model. The answer would have been to have it in multiple parts. They're just like not physically possible to make those angles. Something I found that works for those nooks is a disposable dental application. I mean, I should have just painted the whole thing brown first and then done what I'm having to. I was trying to avoid having to do this step right here, which I have to do anyways because it's literally impossible to reach that corner without getting paint on the surrounding area. So it's 30% my fault for not starting in a smarter fashion. But, okay, so I don't know if y'all are familiar with the Tau for Warhammer 40k, but like there's a reason that those shoulder pads are a separate piece and not already sculpted onto the arm. Sorry, I let my frustration get the best of me, but it's just a nitpicking issue I have had for some time now in this modern era of digitally sculpted models. Don't get me wrong, it is really cool that anybody can just, sculpt up some models and have them ready to go, but like, there's thought that goes into sculpting as it pertains to later painting it. We're just chillaxing. It's great content. Well, thanks for stopping by. Hell yeah. I for that matter, I feel like I have tried to select a decent soundtrack that has, some vibe to it. Yeah. Let me just center myself. Nightbot has another factoid for y'all. Says that human specifically has eyes that face forward for the purpose of seeing in 3Ds. On the other hand, vegetarian dinosaurs such as the Triceratops had eyes that looked out to the side so they could What? Okay, Nightbot. So that again, first off, that's a half-completed statement, or I should say, a half-completed stuff. But in addition, that is a half-truth. Forward-facing eyes are a quality of predators, whereas side-facing eyes are generally a physical attribute belonging to prey animals. Predators would need to judge distance, so thus developed stereo vision that allows for depth perception. It is a trait that has been inherited in humans. At this point, I think with the troubles with Nightbot's fact list, I think I need to just carefully curate my own. I'll go through that paste bin and like hand pick about 400 or 500 facts if I'm gonna do the effort of trying to get some code written anyways. Because that's just bad. And actually, while I'm at it, and because this is Gaslight Minis, I think it could be really fun to just put some like blatantly false things in there too. I know some stuff that I'm thinking about. Y'all will see eventually when I get around to it. All right. So the problem with having to do what I've just done here is like there's a very clear line right here of the white paint underneath this contrast. That's why I was trying so hard to avoid that. Very, very disappointing. What's the sculptor's name? Is Mini Hulk Mechs. Gotta say, I have been pleased with the others quite a bit up to this point. The Bumblebee sculpt, not good. Needs to be in multi-parts. Absolutely needs to be multi-part kit. Or reposed in such a way that you could paint it with some ease. I'd like to see if anybody's painted it up and to see if they've gotten around the thing there. I have other ideas how to get facts, but yeah. Can't remember where exactly I encountered the idea of Nightbot spouting off facts. But I came across this command, and it's just a simple command that runs a string query and gets a random line number and pulls a fact off a pastebin document and then posts it in chat. And I kind of like that. I like that Nightbot is this bumbling idiot of a entity within the Country Tribe Minis stream setting. Okay, I am almost done base coating Bumblebee, and we are an hour and 45 minutes into the stream. This is crazy. But we're almost there. We're at the edge. I need to put a little more yellow down right here. I missed some. Wonder if the Bumblebee sculpt was the first of the Transformers ones he made. I wonder. I mean, it's well sculpted. Like, the details are there. It just, there's some, I should maybe, I'll send an email over to him, or I think Cults will allow me to send a message over. There's just a few considerations that should be made for the painting experience. And I think if you wanted to keep the pose nice and dynamic, the simplest thing you could do is maybe just have the arms like a ball and socket type deal. I think that would help a lot, and that way you could actually like get up under these panels, or have these panel pieces come off, because you get this really sharp overhang there. Like it's not, you can't get a brush in there. Again, I partially have done this to myself and should have started by painting the lower areas first. And in fact, I'm having to deal with that again right here. Ronald says there's a command called Fortunes on Max and stuff. It has some fun facts and fortunes. Yeah. In Moon's Twitch stream, he has a bot called Markov Chain that just straight up spouts like almost legible nonsense from AI. That's pretty good. I wonder if you could if there's a way to call call a line from like ChatGPT or something. I don't know, stuff I'd like to introduce to make chat a little more interesting. I am definitely very envious of the amount of stuff you can do with a Twitch stream, and I am not gonna start streaming on Twitch just to have access to that. I think Twitch could be a depressing place for a content creator like myself, especially to go from these hopping streams here on YouTube over to nobody on Twitch. Would be really hard to do, I think. Of course, you know, we've been through so many streams to get here, y'all, you know. This is the 32nd paint stream since I started doing the paint stream. And I think we're up to a similar number on the workflow streams as well. I guess it helps that I've been doing this like almost daily too. Just have a paste bin get updated before Nightbot's timer's up. That's hilarious. Yeah. I could see that. I think YouTube is more popular. Yeah. So it's kind of wild. The YouTube gives you higher quality streams. I think Twitch is working on that, but YouTube definitely gives you a higher quality stream, like better bit rates and resolution and all that. It gives you really, really fantastic analytics. The YouTube analytics are really awesome. There's like it even gives you like these research tabs where you can see like the type of things that your viewers click on to help gear your content. It just doesn't have all the fun like channel points and bits and you know, stuff like that. I mean, there's super chats, but damn, they're so expensive. I would prefer it if I could do super chats for a lot lower price, like a penny per character, or like have people be able to, I don't know, get a ton of channel points or something. I don't know. I think YouTube provides AV1 encoding too. I'm not 100% sure what that is. AV1 is coming to Twitch apparently. I didn't know YouTube. Yeah. Streams are about to get very high quality. It's awesome. I'm all for it. Okay, so we got the base colors on Bumblebee finally. After almost 2 hours of work. Insane. I mean, how much of that is me waffling and fucking with the camera, you know, but let's get these other lads back out and see what is a good next step. I think our next reasonable step here is to start filling in metallic details. And I think we're going to use not duraluminum, but jet exhaust. Yeah, I think we're going to use our jet exhaust. Which means it's time as soon as I buy another GPU, I'm putting my old PC together in a dedicated streaming rig. 9700K 2080 Ti 30 gigabyte DDR4 4000. Too much for a streaming gig. Go downgrade that GPU. I need to think about boosting this machine myself. Need to get it to run this Brio 4K webcam a little better. That's what I need. That's what I need. Also, like, what's going on with the zoom here? Last stream I was able to zoom this way in. I think it might be because I'm in 4K now. This is as far as it zooms in now. Anyhow, what do you got for a machine? I don't know how to pull that up. Let me do this. Let me pull that up. I can go to, what, my PC and go to properties? Let's see here. How do I... There it is. My PC properties. This is my old computer cobbled together with a whole bunch of extra junk. This is an i5 3300 3 gigahertz with 16 gigs of RAM. And how would I find what my graphics are? Device manager? Is that what I'm looking for? Device manager. My device manager claims display adapters. It is, oh, it's a 650 Ti. 650 Ti on an i5 3300. CPU needs help with this one. Yeah, I think I agree. I think that will help the most. But this was my old machine before I built the new one. And actually the very first paint stream I did during the Armored Core paint up, I was running cameras across the room with a 20-foot extension cable to that machine, and it really struggled. It just those cables weren't meant for high quality video transfer. I bought cheap Amazon garbage. This is my old set. Yeah, exactly. Pretty old machine, right, meow. Yes. Also, bonus points for right, meow. Is the proper word. All right. I think I can. Let's see. Let's do 90-degree field of view. All right. So we're gonna put out a little bit of our jet exhaust. I think we're going to keep using our new brush here, this nice Pro 3.0 liner. And we're going to just start. We're not even going to worry about, not even worried about the art. We just see that this is where we start to diverge a little bit from the Transformers and think more about the mech aspect of these. It's where we're crossing over genres. I see bits that look like they need metal, we put metal on them. So we're going to start with our happy little Grimlock Atlas. It's actually quite a fabulous model. This one, to me, is the most believable within the Battletech universe. Also, do I understand correctly, at least by the Transformers, like modern incarnation films, that there's no reason that these guys couldn't have taken over battlemechs anyways? Or however it works. Alright, so I'm thinking just all these little round doohickeys. These little spots that look like they might have some motion to them. I like these kind of actuator thingamabobs, so we're gonna go silver on those. Same on this one. Just taking my artist's eye and thinking, hey, that looks like it might be silver, and hit it. Tuck Davy on a Battlebound recommends like kind of deciding beforehand what you're painting on these. And though I think that's a good general rule of thumb, I'm more of the camp of picking out these metallic details in the moment. Correct, they can scan and mimic any machine. Yeah. There's lore that could say that with the Allspark. Yeah. Yeah. Although it is interesting to think, like, what difference it, like, how different would it be to go from battlemech to transformer? It's just the same thing. They just have more armor or something, or is it the Allspark bring them to life? You could have a whole like subplot line wherein battlemechs become animated with the Allspark or whatever. I think we're just gonna do this whole thing right here silver. I say silver, it's more like I don't want to say gunmetal. It is kind of similar to a gunmetal color, but not quite. I think I should have done dry brushing first, actually. Yep, I think I should have dry brushed first. And actually, I'm realizing that I've broken the sequence too bad and I need to dry brush. Steel. Yeah. There's Flashpoint in the Rogue Tech mod for Hairbrain Schemes Battletech and you get a Bumblebee. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, so we're going to pause. We're going to pause what I was just doing because I need to dry brush these mechs. Yeah, I need to dry brush these mechs. We're going to start with Optimus. And we're going to do a light blue color first. Maybe the red first. Where is my Mephiston red? There it is. I'm going to take Mephiston red. We might actually do this vermilion. This dark vermilion might be a little better. Let's do that. Nightbot claims that in Japan, Domino's started testing pizza delivery via reindeer in 2016. That is very obviously not real. There's no way. No possible way that's real. That's insanity. Alright. Let's test out our dark vermilion here. Let's do it on the bottom down here so we can see if it is indeed the type of color we're looking for. And I don't think it's bright enough. No. It is not quite bright enough. So what we're going to do, first we're going to eat some paint about it so we can think clearly. And then we're going to mix in, boy, what color? What color? What color? Not sunny skin tone, not flat flesh. We're going to mix in a little bit of orange fire, maybe? Just a little bit. This needs to get shook up. Not insane, they've had domesticated deer in Japan forever. Pizza delivery via reindeer. I wonder if they'd impart their like barnyardness to the pizza just by being in proximity to their bodies. Okay. Alright, so we got our fire orange. We're just gonna push it down in that pink mound. Give it a little wobble. Because I haven't used this paint in ages. And I think we'll try... I don't know, we'll start with 2 drops. I think 2 drops is reasonable. Howdy Tobias, hey, what's your paint taste? You know what? I don't think I've tasted Game Color. Let's find out. Oof, it's heinous. Very bitter. It's still got that like... It's still got that Vallejo like medium flavor to it. But very bitter. Very, very bitter. They don't list their pigments on it either. It is not a pleasant paint. What am I looking for? I'm looking for my 6 brush. I guess I could bring back up the desk cam. Does that show my paintbrushes over here? I can't really tell. Let's do that. What if I... That is that direction, so we're looking for... There we go. Now you can see all my paintbrushes, I think. Paintbrushes over here. Can you still see the water cup? Yeah. Mostly. Oh wait, y'all can't see that. I don't know why. That's very confusing. I actually have to hit the transition button to send it over to the program. Domino's has had worse ideas. If you want a fun read about their 30 minutes or free problems that cause, and also the Noid problem. Oh yeah, there's some horror stories in my family. My dad was he managed the Domino's in my hometown during that era. I'm pretty sure at least one driver died trying to get the pizza to their folks on time. The Noid stuff I'm not so familiar with. There's a dude there too, naturally, yeah. Nightbot reminding folks that I do commission painting. Check out the gigs on offer over at Fiverr. Fiverr.com/ThurstonStudios. Send me an offer. You know, it doesn't hurt to send over your idea. I can send custom offers. It doesn't have to be battlemechs. This here is actually a custom commission right now that I'm working on. So your project could too be featured here on Country Fried Minis here in the Bullshit Corner 2.0. Actually, let me test this before we commit, before I get ahead of myself. I'm gonna hit that same spot again and see if it's bright enough to register on the edges. I think we may still be too dark. Do another line. Phrasing. Yeah, it needs more orange. I should have just gone with the straight Wild Rider red, now that I'm thinking about it. Let's do even more orange. That that blood red speed paint is surprisingly bright. I guess I could have saturated the model with it too. It'd have been a little darker. Okay, let's give it another testy-do. Let's check this corner right here. I think that is going to yield us some results now. It might be a little bit in the orange territory, but that's fine. I'm gonna work with our dry brush and get this really worked into the bristles, but then also mostly removed. We're gonna start trying to we want to hit all the tips, but we also want to try to avoid hitting any of the blue. And it is really might not be bright enough. I think I may still need more orange in it, honestly. Let's see. As we work around here, it might just be a little transparent too, because it's the game color. It's not super strongly pigmented. I like this track a lot. Let's get rid of desk cam, maybe get a little bit of stream quality back. Just gonna dry brush our lad. It's really not going up too strongly. I think it might be a matter of going even brighter. Feels like I'm wasting my time right here. I think I am wasting my time. Yeah, I'm wasting my time. Let's go. Let's try Wild Rider Red instead. I'm going to hop off and go read a bit, some Battletech fiction in order for the night. Have a nice night. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, Ronald. Pleasure chatting with you. I'll shoot a DM about some code stuff here in the near future. Let's get our Wild Rider Red and try this instead. I think this might be the ticket. Push it a little more into the pinky territory, but it's still kind of orange. Still a little bit orange. I think that's what we're after. We're sitting at 2 hours, 10 minutes. We might actually make a little progress here. Let's get our Wild Rider Red and work it into the bristles. And give it a little test here. I mean, am I just going to have to really, really overcompensate here? That is basically imperceptible still. It's very frustrating. What about edge highlighting instead? Let's try that. Let's try for an edge highlight instead. That might be the way. So instead of dry brushing, are we gonna have to edge highlight every bit of these mechs? I dare say yes. That does look like the right color though. It's a little too thick to do edge highlighting currently. So I think what we're gonna do is put a drop of water right there. We're gonna thin this stuff down just a bit and make sure to bump our camera another dozen or so times. That would be ideal. Lead to a very high quality stream. pro tip for those of y'all out there want to do your own mini painting streams, make sure to fiddle with the camera like just way too much as you're working. Bump it around, make sure to hit it with your headphones, all that good stuff. Okay. Yeah, it's wild. This color is the right tone, I think, for our edges, but like just doesn't want to show up with the dry brushing. So we're just going to instead hit all these little panels with meticulous edge highlighting instead. And that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Just, you know, it's going to take about 10 times as much time, which is fine. It's fine. I'm okay with this, I tell myself. Try to work quickly at least. I'm going to lose a lot of time on the hourly rate. I'm going to lose a lot of time edge highlighting over dry brushing. I don't know why it's not showing up dry brushing. It just doesn't. It don't want to show up. Maybe something about this, the pigment quality of this particular color. Maybe that it's red. I've always heard red is problematic color for this, but also the camera's doing some weird stuff with the saturation too. I have not adjusted the saturation for what it's worth. It is not that saturated. That down. All right, here we go. Just round all the panels. Round all the panels, every panel. The 1,000,001 little panels. I've already done the bottom here for the most part. We don't have to do every little line. Just try to pick out the ones that make sense. Sharpest points, most upward facing angles. A lot of times you get these panels that are like the double bevel situation, or like a beveled edge, so it's got two hard creases. And you just highlight the one that's more upwards facing. It's worth remembering that these are meant to go to like a tabletop, battle ready standard, maybe tabletop plus, maybe not even tabletop plus, maybe just tabletop. I know that term varies for folks, but I think it's fair to say that my commissions are my tabletop standard. You know, a couple highlights, a couple ink wash, maybe even like base coat shadow highlight, ink wash, sponge chipping. There's a fair amount of gimmicky stuff going into it, rather than painstaking detail. Though in this case, I think we're going to have an edge highlighted set, which is not my usual path for doing these. It's fine. Just means I'm really eating it. Really eating it for hourly, which is fine. It's content. I mean, heck, I just spent what? Almost 2 hours base coating Bumblebee. That's definitely not time efficiency. I guess it does kind of call to mind this whole point about individual paint jobs versus like a full lance or even an army that's all the same color. If you have a situation where you can rank paint, it exponentially reduces the time spent on each model beyond the first. Well, to a degree. You definitely get diminishing returns, and the only shortcut is how quick you put in the time. But like having to think about individual paint schemes adds so much time. Something I discussed with the client here on this project a bit. Generally, my paint jobs on Fiverr are pointed for a set that matches. That said, I'm more than amenable to doing full custom sets. Edging our Optimus Prime. We're not worried about them being like perfect, real thin, like idealized edge highlights, because we're gonna hit it later with the sponge chipping. We'll just put a little bit of cheeky weathering on it, which will work really well. Want to get some variation on those sharp edges, make them look a little lighter than the surrounding color. I'm trying to keep it in frame for y'all too. I apologize if it's not. There we go. Darn, have I done this one already? Down the other side. This is again with the Nice Pro, however you pronounce it, NICPRO 3.0 liner we just opened up. And it's funny too to me that I'm painting red right now because I pivoted from dry brushing, or pivoted to dry brushing, and then immediately abandoned dry brushing because it wasn't working. Plans that change into plans that change. Fun reminder to stay on your toes while painting. Be ready to make decisions in the moment. Change your approach. I would probably say it Nick Pro. Nick Pro. I mean, that's how it's spelled, you know? But you never know with some of these like Amazon off-brand, like maybe the company is trying to do something clever with their translation into English. Something like that. All right. We're making progress though. It's slow, but it is progress nonetheless. Good old classic Lupus Nocti track here. I think this might be off of the Powerhouse 84 album. Which, once I get the plugin installed, y'all will be able to see the names of these tracks and whatnot, what album they're off of. Maybe it shows album. I think it just shows artist and song and then the album cover. Now that I'm thinking about it. I couldn't get it set up. Or did I say... Damn it, Nate, that doesn't help. You would pronounce it pecan. Pecan? What about pecans? I'm going to go with pecan. Right? Like, as if it were spelled P-E-C-C-A-N. Pecan. Or P-E-C-K-I-N apostrophe. Like what a chicken does. If you're catching this via the algorithm and made it to this point, let me know in the comments down below how you pronounce pecan. Alright. So we're just about done with the red highlights here. Just keeping them very rough. They don't have to be super perfect. We just want some of that brighter, like orangey red on the sharp bits. A fair amount of this is going to get covered up anyways once we do the edge highlight, not the edge highlighting, the sponge weathering, because these guys are going to get a little bit of battle damage at the end. The grime wash with the oils will go a long way in helping to boost that up, boost that contrast up, I should say. Yeah. I'm even thinking, if I'm going to the point of edge highlighting, I think I might even just add a little extra. A little bit extra. Let's make it extra for the client. Let's just do it. Hourly be damned. Let's get this done. Or let's get this looking good and get it done. Alright. Alright, that's our Wild Rider red. Let's put a little more orange into it. Pecan. Pecan. That's my vote. Law. Pecan. Pecan. That's a good way of writing it out, by the way. Jason. Alright, so if we're going G-dubs for the highlight color, it stands to reason that the next layer should go G-dubs for the highlight layer. We're going to eschew the hot orange. And ew, this needs to be stirred up. And if it needs to be stirred up, y'all know what time it is. Well, for one, it needs a drop of water or two in it. It is way too thick. Do 2 drops. And we're going to toss in a mixing ball. Bink. And we're going to give it a manual shake at first. Coming through the mic. I'm trying to get it come through the mic. And then we need Onilab once more. Oh yeah. Try it from both ends too. Thank you, Honey Lab. I love that this has become a silly, sensual meme in our community. Oni Lab. It's for the CFOP. Okay. Got a little bit of our orange here. How thick is it? It's still a little thick. I should have added a little bit more water into it in the bottle. I think this is an Ingrid Witt track. Not 100% sure. I thought it was If I Had a Tail first. I don't think it is. Where's our Optimus? Optimus. All right. So we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to concentrate our next highlight layer on the sharpest edges. Sharpen, like corners. And then we're even going to feather it out a little bit. We just want a little bit here and there. I hope y'all can see what I'm doing. I'm trying to keep it in frame. And actually, I think the orange is a little too much. So we're going to mix it in with, we're going to mix in a little bit of our Wild Rider Red and do about a 50-50. 50-50 seems right. Yeah, there we go. So we're going to do, yeah, that's much, much better. We'll just hit those sharpest edges and corners and upward facing edges, sharpest points. Very quick, not really thinking about it too much, just moving, keeping the action flowing. Spots that your eye's gonna catch, and that'll help you to inform like where it's going. If you look at the model quickly and kind of don't take a lot of time to assess where your eyes are falling, just let your eyes hit the model, and then that's where the highlight goes. If you think about it, if you have to think about whether or not that spot is getting the orange highlight, it doesn't get the orange highlight. Simple way of just staying up with what you're doing. We can put some on a few bottom edges too if they're sharp enough. And if they're sharp enough, it's because it's getting a little bit of that reflected light. I love my magic paint mixer wand, yes. Yes, those of you don't know, you'd have to come on over to the Country Fried Minis Discord and check out the Not the Kids table for the sensuous moments. Something like that. Oh, I just realized I didn't edge highlight the inside of that arm. So let's do that real quick. We're going to switch back to our Wild Rider Red and just get a little bit of that edge highlighting there. There we go. Don't this track sound like video game music? Hero of the Arcade. You know, now I'm thinking about, I bet this is off of Lupus Nocti's arcade album. Definitely has that sound. Alright, fixed our problem. Upper edge highlighted with orange. We're going to get this upper edge highlighted with orange right across that shoulder and down it a little bit. Not spending a ton of time, just slap it on and go and move and get it done and move on to the next one. You know, don't need to be drawn out. And I know I said time be damned, but technically this is a consideration if you're doing like commission work. You need to think about maximizing your effect versus time invested versus how much effect you're going to get. I'm not saying cut corners for your client's work, but like definitely want to consider like at what point is it diminishing returns from the time you're investing. Like, could you skip that last edge highlight and still get a good enough result that would be pleasing to your client? If so, you should probably consider skipping that layer and saving the time across your models. I want to highlight these spots right here. Okay, and I think it's a good amount of highlighting. It looks like I left out a little bit right here. We're gonna fix that with the Wild Rider Red and across this connection on the arm. Okay. And we need to be thinking about something similar for the blue now. So make sure to eat a little bit of paint. Admittedly, my blue selection is kind of lacking. I have Cantor Blue, and I have Calidor Sky, and I have Turquoise. And that's really about it. So I think what we're going to do is start with a little bit of Calidor Sky and test it on the model and see if it works. Matt Holberg says, snap, 1.01k subs. Heck yeah, paint for us, sub daddy. Dude, I can never find a blue I like. Yeah, I need to really up my blue collection. Plus, look at that. Look at the absolute state of that. What is this, Calidor Sky? I need to at least replace my Calidor Sky. Also, at the mention of 1.01k subs, thank y'all immensely for showing your belief in this community, in this place, in this little silly little channel. It is an honor to get to paint stuff for y'all. I know that I've been slacking on the like more produced videos and whatnot, but these streams have been a ton of fun, not gonna lie, and there are videos on the horizon. Those of you in the Discord know all about the silliness that's happening. My buddy told me that high-tech blue was blue ink glazes. He wasn't wrong. That cranks up the blue factor. I mean, I do have the High Lord blue that I used on the model, and I can mix a little bit of that in to I don't know, some white or some turquoise even, and kind of brighten it up. I think that could work. Ooh, this is paint chunky. Get a little Calidor Sky out there and see how that interacts with our blue. Now once again, shit. You got some white ink? You get the full set? No, I did not. I've got, let's see. I've got the Liquitex white, and then I've got a few others. Where's my green? Yeah, I've got FW Emerald Green and Turquoise. And then I picked up some of this Amsterdam Turquoise Green. Really looks like a fun color. These are actually for that night vision army. The blue night vision. Whew, that smells heinous. My God, that is a stinky ink. Is it? Okay, FW inks don't smell bad. This smells like chemicals. All right. Let's first do a little test of the Calidor Sky and see how it highlights up this blue. under here maybe. I don't think it's quite bright enough. Let's do another little pass and give it, yeah, it's not quite bright enough. So we want to brighten that up with, how about some turquoise? It's a great color. Yeah. Let's do a drop of turquoise. Ooh, that was a big chunk of dried acrylic. I could pick that out. Where's my tweezers? My desk is getting a little out of control, y'all. I think I need to give it a clean after tonight's session. The question is, will I clean my airbrush? I think we all know the answer. That I will clean the airbrush the next time I use the airbrush. Alright, and I got a 6 brush around here somewhere. Alright. So just going to go out there. I know that most people have a hobby desk, or at least a fair few of you out there have a hobby desk that looks like my desk cam over here. Right? All these colors out. Got these here. Did it go? Oh yeah. Got my waters, got my paints, got my brushes. Stuff is insane. When your hobby space hits this point and it's becoming hard to suss out what you're after, hard to find what you're looking for, it is time to straighten it up. And you should totally take a moment and clean your room. Just saying. It's actually part of why I installed the desk cam tonight, to show y'all the absolute state of my hobby corner. Matt feels attacked. Yes, I am attacking you. Oh, it's too bad. It's too bad. All right, let's try again with our new mix color here. It is about 2-to-1 Calidor Sky to Apple Barrel Turquoise, and I think we might be bright enough to do the highlight with this. Yeah, that looks good. We're gonna start doing just the same deal that we just did before, and we're gonna highlight. I did not intend to set out highlighting this model. I was gonna dry brush it all and do some low impact, low effort, get it done type stuff, but because of that bad experience with the red, we're gonna highlight over our contrast colors and just panel edge highlight them. Yeah. Later on, we'll fix it up with the ink wash, with the oil washes and the sponge chipping. I think in the opposite order of that, though. And of course, not worried about perfection here. Who cares? Get it on there. I mean, I'm not saying be sloppy, but like, you know, even when working for commission, unless that client is coming at you expecting competition level models, you don't got to kill yourself on it. You can sell the effect with a lot less work than you'd assume. Get the highlights on. Get them done. Dry brush it. Ink wash it. Do those fun little time-saving tricks. You testing on the bottom of feet, or is it going to have feet up in the air? No, I was testing on the bottoms of feet. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Testing it out, and then we're working down the legs. And you know, as much crap as I've kind of talked on these models tonight, if you did take your time and picked out all these little highlights and did some blending and whatnot, these sculpts are very nicely detailed. I hope that was clear earlier while I was ragging on the bumblebee. It's not that it's a bad sculpt. It's that it was not well thought out for the painter's experience. I have to wonder what proportion of mini sculptors out there are also mini painters. All right, can we get through all this blue in the next 15 minutes? I think so. I think that's what we'll aim to do here. Not gonna need the desk cam no more tonight. I love some of the paint jobs I see on Bot Wars stuff. Yeah, the Bot Wars stuff is really fun. They have a Discord. If any of y'all are interested and need a link, I can send it over to you. Just hit me up on Discord. They have some really fun Transformers. How would you describe it? Transformers style models, legally distinct. All right. In our Calidor Sky turquoise mix, we're hitting these edges, making headway. Trying to get 2 legs inside of however long. I can't believe it took us almost 2 hours to get that dang old bumblebee ready. Then again, it took 3 hours to base coat 3 models. And I didn't have a whole bunch of mucking with the camera involved. Alright. Progress. A little bit here, a little bit there. And the beauty of this here too is that because this is contrast paint for our base coat, it's already got a little bit of that like contrast between light and shadow. So if we miss a spot or two here and there, it's not going to be super apparent. In fact, if it is apparent, if it's enough to be apparent, it'll stand out. Zach P says, I can totally agree with you about what you're talking about earlier about maximizing your time when it comes to painting. It makes even more sense when you talk about it in terms of commission pays. Yeah, I've found that I've done a few commissions where I set out a price and then ended up like just doing my normal method, and the project took like so much time that the hourly would calculate out to like less than $2 an hour for your time. And as much as I want to keep things affordable for folks, I found that I've had to raise my prices on Fiverr. In fact, I want to say I charge like half of what I did now. And it was untenable. So what I've ended up doing is a combination of like refining the techniques to save time and to produce effects that like look good enough for the client, that also like respect my time as a full-time hobbyist. It's a tough line to walk, and in the end, you definitely, like, you always end up undervaluing your time, or underpaying yourself, I should say. But that's fine. I mean, it's just like here I've said, I hit that snag with the dry brush, so now we're edge highlighting, and it's like, time be damned. Hourly be damned. Let's get it done. Let's get a cohesive look across these models, and it will be fine. It's worth it to get the art done right. And I find as a commission painter that, like, trying to set a price for your art and trying to, like, pay yourself fairly is rough. And it always comes down to, like, how much do you enjoy the work and how low are you willing to go? And myself, I'm willing to go pretty low. I'm willing to go pretty damn low to get the art done correctly and have it look good and have the client happy and a nice portfolio piece, all that good stuff. I definitely don't think that mini painting is something that will pay well, like, period. And honestly, if you're, in my mind at least, if you're like a high-end painter that's charging high dollar amounts for, like, exquisite paint jobs, you're probably still making about the same as, like, an average run-of-the-mill commission painter like myself. You know, you're charging a higher rate, but you're spending many more hours. It's tough to price out. It's very, very tough to price out. And again, it comes back to that whole, like, where do you draw the line and balance compensating yourself well and also, like, offering your clients a good, attractive deal so that you retain business. I think I've just about hit a good point for the rates and what I do and the amount of time I spend. Plus, all that said, I'm also farming this work for content. Even if I'm not making, like, full-length videos or full-length features out of it, I'm still getting, like, streams out of it. You know, this is watch hours. And interesting enough, I think this might be, well, I started to say this the first time I've had a client check out the stream, but it's actually the second. It is really awesome to have this set up so that potential clients on my Fiverr page can come in and like see the work as it's happening. I mean, I'm still working on getting the image quality and the color fidelity accurate for the camera, but yeah, it's really fun stuff. We are chugging along slowly but surely. We're doing some rough highlights on our Optimus. Just kind of giving it the good enough is good enough approach. Quick swipe over every edge. I've known a lot of pro painters in my life and never did make any much money. Yeah, had a good time though. Matt DiPietro is a big league painter. He was an old game store bunny. He was a staff painter at Privateer Press for years. Probably the highest paid mini painter I ever met, and even that then was pretty thin. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I mean, imagine being an artist in this world and being compensated for your time. I dare say the only artists who actually get fairly compensated are people who are selling paintings for like 10,000 plus. And of course, even that, there's so much schmoozing and social connections that need to be made in order to do that. I mean, I've been to plenty of galleries here in San Francisco and encountered paintings that I would happily buy if I were a wealthy man, but I'm not a wealthy man. So like, how do you get those in front of the wealthy people instead of just like putting them up in a gallery for people to just walk by and be like, oh, that is a dank painting, and then keep walking? Art is an undervalued aspect of our society. And it's a shame. All right. Such progress. I'm trying to keep it in frame too, y'all. I see that I'm drifting. It's easy to do. The best paid commission painter is a furry artist, yes. I think being able to watch you paint the commission is awesome. It's honestly a big selling point for the commission. Hey, hey, customer testimonial. Love it. Love it. Thank you. Thank you so much for this fun commission too, Zach. This is very neat. Don't know if it'll make like proper content in the long run given the production schedule, but it is super fun and it will definitely yield some really fun studio picks and some proper hobby hangouts. Maybe even build a little bit of recognition for this guy's work, because they're definitely well sculpted, all except for that whole bumblebee posing and detail size issue. And I'm noticing the other ones don't really have the same kind of problem so far. Just the bumblebee has some really, really thin details. And I think, you know, now that I'm sitting here putting some thought to it, I think it's because the artist put so much emphasis on making it look like the movie art, because it is very accurate for the movie art. The whole, like, the shoulder plates and the chest assembly looks just like it. It just, I don't know, it's kind of hard to describe it. Look at Catalyst Games models and the way they're sculpted versus Matt Mason's work of exporting the MechWare Online stuff. Like, he's done a really good job of beefing up some of the details, but they're still, like, they're made for video games. They're too small. Or, like, sometimes lines will be really soft, like the direwolf, the Daishi, for instance. The cockpit is a really soft detail on that. It's a decent painting. It definitely made some money doing that. Oh, that's right. Yes. Yeah, in fact, are you open to doing commission stuff, Matt? If you are, definitely feel free to post on the self-promotion section on the Discord. I know we've talked a bit about some of your art. Not to put your business out there. Okay. Alrighty then. Where are we sitting at? 2 hours 58 minutes. Alright, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna finish up this lad's hands and head. Call the stream. As I say every time, I am not in the habit of, I don't want to be in the habit of running over 3 hours. I think it's taxing on not only yourself but the community as well to have streams that run to an unpredictable length. I think regularity is key. Regularity is really important. So let's get these fingies painted up. Little highlights on them. Don't worry about them being too super neat here because the hands are going to get probably a little more wear and tear on them than the rest of the model, or than most of the model, I should say. Not necessarily the rest of it. We're going to do some edge highlights on the head. And I'm also hoping that the edge highlights here will make the edges of this model a little more handleable. I do find that the Army Painter speed paints tend to rub off a little easier than contrast colors. I'm assuming there's a fair bit of reactivation with the latent moisture in your fingertips. Still working on the bases. Unfortunately, I'm working on some custom bases for these to match client specifications, and I will put them up as a downloadable file. I actually really struggled to find good ruins bases. Excuse me, like urban rubble ruins. All right, I think with that last few strokes, our Optimus Prime is nice and highlighted. I am nowhere near as far into this as I thought I'd get. Bumblebee has been a really sore stumbling point. So it's progress. It's progress, but not serious progress. Anyhow, here we are. We're at the 3-hour mark, y'all. I think I'm gonna gear up for another one of these tomorrow night. And then skip at least one day in the weekend. We got a workflow stream coming up too for the New Year New Dragon project with Flying Monkey Studios. I really want to get that out and get working on the next video, which will be the Titania. Or no, I think the Titania is pushed back again for the 1,000 sub specials coming up. Yeah, I should do some commissions. Yeah, I got time. I'm painting mechs all day. Call them fiverr streams. Nice, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think we're gonna stream again tomorrow. I'll put up the page for it. Same time, same place. 6 p.m. PST. We're gonna paint some more on these mechs and get these done. I think we're gonna aim to finish these lads, these here Autobots, and then try to do the same maybe do 3 streams for the Decepticons and just get a whole hell of a lot of content out of this. And then there's one bonus mech for this project. Yeah, this commission's kind of taken up a lot of my time lately for the foreseeable future, which is fine. Just, you know, that's Country Fried Minis for you, y'all. I promise things and then I fail to deliver. Anyhow, I want to thank y'all for swinging through today and checking out what's going on. I'm really like consistently blown away with seeing the number of folks hanging out in chat and having the interaction with y'all. It's always a really good time. If you have any ideas for paint ups or videos or whatever, send them my way. Either toss it in a comment down below, join up at the Discord, shoot me a message. My email is also available on the About page. You know, reach out. If you want to stay appraised as to like regular streams, check out our website, countryfriedminis.com, and expect some more silly stuff from us here in the corner going forward. In any case, I've been Cameron, presenting once more on behalf of Country Fried Minis. This is the Bullshit Corner 2.0, my little hobby space where we get where the magic happens. Check back for more going forward. Yeah. Thank y'all so much for helping to push this channel over to 1,000 subs. And if you really want to support the channel, consider joining up as a channel member. For as little as $1 a month, you can get a fun little badge next to your name, as well as access to biscuit-based emojis, plus priority consideration for subscriber stream events, which we'll do some of those in the future. I'll do some announcements on the community page. Anyhow, I know I'm waffling. I'm getting a little tired. I think I'm going to eat a little bit of chow and maybe hop on over to the Discord and hang out for the rest of the evening. It's kind of become a bit of a trend here on the corner. We hang out in the voice chat afterwards. So, any case, lots of love, y'all. Remember to be happy while you're painting, and also to remember that your interaction and your participation here in the community keeps me happy while I'm painting. Anyhow, that's all I got for you. Catch you next time, same place, tomorrow evening. Bye-bye.